We're giving away free shit. I didn't know how else to start the video. Hey, I'm Sage. You might know me as the grumpy looking thing in the profile picture. People tell me I'm a musician, but frankly, I don't believe them. 2021 is finally over, and it was a pretty weird year for a lot of people for a lot of different reasons. But somewhere in that big mess of a year, things actually went pretty well for the lo-fi community as a whole, and this channel's no exception. I know a music channel on YouTube doing well in the middle of like an international series of crises is like the thinnest silver lining to a year ever, but fuck it, I'm gonna take my wins when I can get it. This year we were lucky enough to collaborate with everyone from the Game Grumps. We got some projects featured over on Game Chops, which was just a huge honor to be featured over there. And over on Reddit, r-lo-fi hip-hop exploded from just over 100,000 subscribers at the beginning of 2021 to like 650,000 subscribers to the sub by the time the year was up. So now that we're kicking off 2022, I thought the best way we could kind of give back in some small way is just to give away some free gear. A lot of the time, the hardest thing keeping people from starting to make music as a whole is they think they need all this different expensive equipment, and sometimes that's true. And so I put together about $500 worth of some pretty nice gear, and now we're giving it away for free to anyone in the community who thinks they could get some use out of it. First off is this Conspiracy control surface. Pretty damn nice overall. It's a very versatile MIDI controller. Visually it works really well for live beats, and more than anything it's a very flexible device. Great for anyone just starting out or more experienced producers alike. Not to mention this thing retails for a little over $200, so I think someone might really get some use out of this. Next up we got the Oxygen 25. This is one of the better pieces of gear that a new producer can probably start out on. Early on for me especially, what I didn't realize was it's so much easier to lay down melodies and beats when you just have a keyboard in front of you. And this is a great way to get a lot of people started and just learn the basics of laying down melodies by hand, and for live performances too. After that we got a Fifine K678 sampling mic. The one thing you notice from a lot of people who are first starting out is they don't have great audio for recordings. It's a pretty good mic, retailed originally for just under $100, and should hopefully give someone an edge for when it comes to either audio recordings or instrument recordings. Hell, if you just need a new mic in general, this might be a good fit. On top of that, we're actually giving away for some free software too. First up is a copy of Phonomosh. If you're unfamiliar, this is software that can more or less take any video you record and give it that lo-fi feel with a professional level of quality that you just can't get with online generators. So if anyone out there is recording or making lo-fi videos, this might be a very valuable piece of software for you to get. And finally, this is only for new producers. We're giving away a free copy of Reaper. Reaper is one of the more versatile starting DAWs you can really get out there. It's very approachable, and honestly I'd recommend it to anyone who's just interested in starting to make music themselves. Again, everything I just listed is going to be completely free, and the contest is open for anyone in the community to enter. Now for the rules of the contest. It's real simple. First off, if you want to enter, and I know not everyone's going to like this, you gotta be subscribed to the channel here. Trust me, I know no one exactly likes being asked to subscribe to pretty much anything. But beyond the fact that it's literally free, we're going to be doing contests like this in the future. So if you want to be notified and get more free stuff in the future, or enter beat contests when we do that again this year, just subscribing and being able to get notified is the best way to stick around. Also, making sure that people are subbed to the channel helps to cut down on spam. You don't want to see bot accounts leaving hundreds of comments trying to rig the raffle. And for the sake of transparency, every single entry will go into a random number generator, and I'll record the whole process and probably post that along with the results later, just to make it perfectly clear that this is as fair as possible. And like I mentioned, we are constantly doing pretty big projects for everyone from game chops to our own mixes. And if you want, you can actually join in on these projects yourself and get your music featured either here on the channel or for some much bigger projects down the line. After this, the next step is pretty easy. All you need to do is go down to the comments of this video and leave a comment, whatever you like, and specify what raffles you'd like to be entered into. You can just do one or two, or you can just say all of them, whatever works. Maybe you like free stuff, maybe you want to enter all the raffles, I mean, go for it. There's no limit to how many of these you can enter, but we do want to make sure this gear is actually ending up in the hands of someone who will get the most use out of it. So if you don't think you're going to need the microphone or say the control surface, just specify one or two that you might like. I know not everybody needs a copy of Reaper or video editing software, so specifying what raffle you want to be entered in is the best way to just make sure that the gear ends up in the best hands possible. Also, it's not mandatory, but feel free to share this contest with pretty much any of your friends. Like I said, it's free to enter, and we're using the tag New Year, New Gear. Yes, that's the best thing we could come up with. And finally, last step, just stick around. We'll be announcing the results here on the channel, another reason to sub so you actually get notified when the results come out, as well as over on the r-lo-fi hip-hop subreddit, which if you're not subbed to already, what are you doing? It's the biggest lo-fi community on the internet right now, and it's the best place to both share your stuff and learn more about the craft as a whole. And that's it. We're gonna leave this open for about a month so everyone gets their opportunity to join in, and the results will be out shortly thereafter, so. Again though, this is just my own way of saying thank you to everyone involved in the community, the Collab Cafe especially, and really just everyone from r-lo-fi hip-hop in general. I know it's been some pretty tough times for a lot of people out there, and some free gear isn't going to fix any of that, but it's our own little way of saying thank you. Not to get too mushy, but this channel does mean a lot to me. I've poured literally thousands of hours into a lot of the projects that you see here. It's all a labor of love. I only hope that the work continues to pay off as well as it has. I know how lucky we've been to even make it this far, and we honestly wouldn't have gotten anywhere near this if it wasn't for you guys. Both the people subscribing to the channel, those sticking around, giving any support whatsoever. Like I said, we'll be doing more contests like this in the future. If you're a producer and you want to get your music featured, you want to learn more about making music as a whole, or you just want a cool community of people to kind of bounce your ideas off of and just have some fun, check out the Collab Cafe. It's filled with some really brilliant artists. I'm honored to be able to help curate projects for them. And like I said, we're finding ourselves in more and more positions to make really cool projects with everyone from game shops to other channels on YouTube. And so even if you're just looking for some more opportunities to get your music out there, it's a good place to check out. Thanks again, everybody. Hoping to do more community giveaways like this in the future, especially when the channel hits 10,000. But until then, thanks for sticking around. This channel really does mean a lot to me personally, so big thank you to everybody here following the channel, everyone on r-lo-fi hip-hop as a whole, and keep on making music, guys. Happy New Year. Let's make it a good one. And if it's shit, at least we got some cool music out of it, right? Have a good one, guys.